It's so good. Welcome to court. 7 years all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant, Vera Misham, innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening and the trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Something inside me, rising, surfacing. You are just in time, Bella. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant, Vera Misham's condition? Acute atokin poisoning, according to her physician. She could die at any time. Thus, her absence from court today. What? I can't put her on trial without her being here. It is unusual. I should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. That's being a little harsh. We can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tells us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right, if Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything has been going on behind the curtains all these years. I'm gonna get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin? The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she had done. But Vera was poisoned with atropine. The exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have access to the poison. Significant, since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I now see no reason to postpone a verdict. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is a victim, not the killer. If that is so, then you have to prove something. She was in court, giving a testimony before us. How do you propose a killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you also told us who our mystery killer was. The prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claim to the court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned. I got two things to prove here. Who did it and how. We should hit first. We show the how. How did the killer poison Vera Misham? I'll first focus on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of poison was found on the defendant's body. I see. So, the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Misham? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Misham? What is this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed it a hand. judge has no shame. Absolutely no shame. Alright, Chevy. See ya. Thank you for dropping in. Is that nail polish? It is colorless. Ah. Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. So, the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it. As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish? It's like paint for nails? You know, like women with red nails. Yeah, thank you, Pix. Ah, my wife has red nails. I see, so she's been painting them all this time. This judge. Oh my god. Throwing a notepad, like a note block, is the closest thing I can get to bapping her over the head right now. Oh, gods. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? You guys are all terrible! Seriously, you're all terrible. Everyone should get a BAP. I should just make a BAP command and have like Streamlabs. Like give Streamlabs a subscription and have Streamlabs just BAP everything. You get a BAP. Seriously. Yeah, I'd also like to finish this case today because, like, despite the fact that I've had 2 days to recover, my throat is still a little bit wonky. To be honest. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Her nails? Ah! Prosecutor Gavin? When the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Aye, valet! Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice. Yes? Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison into that nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Misham? Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No, just checking. Mr. Justice. You are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation? Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. Then let us ask, who poisoned Vera Misham with her nail polish? Where's Christoph? There it is.
Take that!
What's this? Christoph Gavin? What's your game? My bro. There is no way he could do such a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday, or it could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago, or perhaps it was 7 years ago. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christopher Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there's something that isn't clear and pressing need, then we might have to summon Christopher Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Right. Okay. The defense wish is granted. Let prisoner Christopher Gavin take a stand. Bailiff, begin the proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christopher Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison. Ah, Your Honor. How nice it is to see you again. It has been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the displeasure of your company? It is not every day that I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it is never. I think you already know, Mr. Christopher Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Ah, why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo, you can do it! Does this bottle look familiar? Ariadne nail polish? Why yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet. And was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit, I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Missa was poisoned. Was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but to read. Well, Clavier, maybe you can explain this. You're being accused again by him. Again. Ah, and you agree with his accusation, do you? Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christopher Gavin, your testimony, please. Oh, I'd be delighted. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Misham. Please testify on this matter to the court. Owning the same nail polish doesn't make a murder. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. Now how could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison. The meaning of such should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisons her father and then she attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest that I am responsible for poisoning her father too? Well, I'm afraid the defense claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mishams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well. Mr. Justice, your cross-examination. I'm accusing Christopher Gavin, my ex-boss. But I know he poisoned the Mishams. The question is when could I have done it? Not to mention why. So, first of all, like, he's still, like, rather calm here, and he has his own, like, thing. Just standing there, nodding, and then suddenly, like, something's wrong here. surely you aren't going to suggest... Hey, look at that. That's quite a scar. Oh, look at that.
Gotcha!
It was you who killed Drew Misham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father too. Your hand tense unnaturally. And a little devil appeared to give me the news. And let us assume for the sake of argument that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there is more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get someone's mouth shut. Ah, then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that is not an alibi, I don't know what is. But you found a way, all the same, and I found it too. This is how you poisoned Mr. Misham. There we go. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night that Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. Actor Queenie was found on the stamp, Mr. Gavin. So, am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, the stamp was found in your prison cell. That is all, Your Honor. Order! 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 Poison on the back of that stamp! After Drew Misham was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy? That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Misham write you a letter. That is how you killed him. Oh no, the music is like a little bit staticky. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it's still like that. That? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter of justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brushell's testimony. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was a mere coincidence he used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you mean to suggest I somehow can manipulate coincidence. No, it's the audio from the game itself and the emulate completely illegal DS that I'm using to play this game. He does have a point. How could this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder. What? Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. He's right though. How could anyone have known Mr. Mistham would use that stamp that night? Least of all Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell. Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I am not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier? Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were this Christoph. Oh, what are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin? Oh, forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Rumi-san, yeah? To which my brother thusly responded, there was no way to know when Miss M would use this stamp. Yes, that's right. Which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Huh? Why could it have been a coincidence? The defense case is simply that Rumi-san died by that stamp. That is all. Coincidence? Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that is not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silenced the defense with the fewest possible words. It's called efficiency. But, Mr. Gavin, that is impermissible testimony. Very well. I shall take his claim head on then. Justice? What? You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter? Apollo, motive. He stopped talking about the motive. Indeed. It is hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. Now here is something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So what does it mean? It means that there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. A motive for murder. This is vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement. I'd say about this vital. That's pretty vital. Well, Mr. Justice, I'm going to through this with no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Now then, let's see what you have for us. What?
I kind of love how they break the fourth wall and goes, just about this.
About this, Severe. Christoph Gavin's becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place. And why was that? Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job for creating forged evidence. I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifique Grammari's diary. Ah, when attorney Felix Wright lost his badge. Ah, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request a forgery to be made? That was never proven. The defendant only on that case was Felix Wright. Who other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second. Those were present in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested the forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than the commemorative poison stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old! The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery to keep them from talking, but he made a mistake. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Forehead. Do you understand what you are telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Felix Wright who presented the false evidence 7 years ago. Adding those two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Felix Wright. Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Or, then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh, that is quite dense. That is quite dense indeed. Oh, and one more other thing. Felix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now, here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigma's previous defense attorney? No, this cannot all be. But it's all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin. Order, order, order! Well, what is the meaning of this? Witness, defendant, the former lawyer. Let me begin by denying all of this. Objection! It is easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin, and impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no records remains in the court. How exactly do you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield... I am? That was not my intention. Forehead. Are you sure you don't have the evidence? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence! Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Because the thing is, Clavier is taking more like a... like he has there is something about his the way he speaks. I'm thinking it's more like he has evolved, like he's presenting as like this refined like defense attorney. So I see it as him like embracing the localness and just not being so rough, if you will, while his brother is more rough around the edges, with and always talking, you know. Yeah, something like that. Could be something like that. Yeah, this is I don't see Christoph like talking with a German accent, while his brother is. Where Christoph is talking with complete like just pure English, just all the way through, very elegantly. Clavier is more like always using German phrases from time to words here there.
He's also younger, and he's somewhat flamboyant, you know.
Yeah.
Going around having some rock band, etc., being, you know, very.
It has more like it's more hip, if you will. God. Also, it's a lot boiling in here. Evidence that shows us this man. Yeah, that one. Clavier. Just prove it. Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case. He must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him, and prove it's the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Misham? Well, Mr. Justice, you claimed Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Misham 7 years ago. Prove it. It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not. Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then, I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty. Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice? It's like, why is the judge letting the prisoner determine this, you know? Fine, Your Honor. All I have to do is prove any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Misham. And I have something that clearly does the job. Very well, Mr. Justice, present your evidence. Show us a link between a witness, Drew, and a witness and Drew Misham. Where is it? Forged evidence. No, letter. No. This one. This evidence proves there is a link.
Objection!
That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting. Miss Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this? Ah, I see now, yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Felix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Felix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears that Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad, forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting is terrible. This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter. A reproduction? When Mr. Wright visited Mr. Christoph's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. What? I love that face. Just like this face of loathing as he realizes he's been had. It's great. He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail. Regardless. Also, I'm going to save here because this game has 2 endings, and I'm going to show you both of them. This mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video. A man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing it is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at this time. Your Honor, your decision, please. The defense claim is denied. What? Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice. Well, we'll certainly take a detour. Okay, I'm gonna save again here. Just so it like I have less to go through when I come back here. We'll certainly take a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I am forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point. Apollo, do something. I'm thinking, but without evidence. I don't have anything I can use on him. Very well. This ends the special witness cross-examination. The show is over, yet the crowd still screams for more. Only now do I understand why. Prosecutor Gavin? Frankly, I am relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I am tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, Christoph? Claudia, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you will regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you have built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Claudia. Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember what is really important to you. You amuse me, Herr Forehead. I couldn't forget what is really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. I'm familiar with the trial. I watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it? Unnatural? Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence, and the next moment you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if what? Funny. It didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Ah! Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Felix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavier. Along my way, you are just in time for the breakdown. I knew because you told me, Christoph. What? It was the night before the trial. Clavier. Christoph, odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. Ah, I won't be trying the trial actually. Ah, why not? I won't be facing off with you in your first trial apparently. But in exchange, I brought some information for you. Information? The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then... I wondered about it at the time. How did Christoph know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Christoph, we were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all of your research on the case. The victim's belongings? Which would have included Maggie's diary, wouldn't it? Mr. Gavin. My, Clavier, you disappoint me. You find trees, yes, Mr. Forrest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going behind that trial. Why not? I'll achieve what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Apollo! I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramery. Two cards. One card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were that day, to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion. Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points on cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christoph Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Felix Wright? A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went to that pitiful excuse of a man. He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it! So, the one who requested a forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, those two men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Felix Wright and Zach Gramery both deserve what they got. So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence so you could win? But then, when you were dismissed as Zach Grammer's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then, you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I imagined has come to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible! If I wasn't laughing, I would weep. Prosecutor Gavin! Perfectly! You're mad, Christoph! Stop fooling yourself! What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it, so Christoph. You've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid of your forgery would be revealed and your reputation tarnished. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with that case for 7 years. Wait just a minute. Zach Grammer was seen by this reporter? How was that possible? Was he alive after being gone for 7 years? Finally, I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get her so fast. Zach Grammer had gone missing for 7 years. Truce's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him! Right, leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murder of a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shadi Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant? Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that traveler was Zach Grammery. What is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going! We'll talk about it later! Max 8 built, no wisdom. Wisdom is dump stat. Christoph has just all int, all charisma, wisdom is dump stat. Did she already know? Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician Magnifique Grammery's death started it. Magnifique Grammery's death and his student, Zach Grammery, as a suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully will become famous beyond belief. Thinking about that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Misham? Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who did the work. You took precautions when you had the forgery mage, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep the people from talking, of course. Those two know too much. Leave them alone and they'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you plan your poisoning of the forgers. Add quinine. Apply it to a commemorative stab. But luck was on Mr. Missam's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter! She saved him by taking that stamp, I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadonite nail polish. Of course. You noticed something when you requested a forgery. When Vera Misham was nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Sounds like your brother then. Needs to ease up on the downloading. Ah! That nail polish was her good luck charm. It was his insurance. Insurance! As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years, and then they went off almost simultaneously. If you are finished, I was doing that. May I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing of what we said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. There are 2 endings to this game, and I'm going to show both of them. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavier. Surely you understand? Now back to the evidence, the lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the Atroquin that took Drew Mesam's life.
Objection!
What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramery to keep him talking. Oh. I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was a particular fugitive.
Objection!
Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we're straying considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is the defendant Vera Misham is on trial here. No, but you're doing so good, Apollo. As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent. Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was a poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought the poison to her lips. Well, that was you. Oh, what? Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor, Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably for a for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Christoph, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. Okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna save. And this is the last time I'm gonna save. We can just, because I want to see the breakdown twice. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for the new judicial system. Exactly, Bella. Bad end and then good end. That's right. I totally forgotten. The jury system. Jurist, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to interject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain from doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers? Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense. There's only room for two in this court, me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say. They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. 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 This is so much better than the first one. I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You don't let ignorant swine soul in your courts. Christoph, it is over. Clavier. The law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It is filled with contradictions. Okay, maybe I won't show it like another time because like I want to cut this close. I want to cut this stream to a close because I am hurting again. So almost there. The law is the end product of many years of human history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished through gleam through trials and errors. This is a fruit we receive and pass on, and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing, nurturing. It's our task as human beings. Except for you, Christoph. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday I'll know what law is. And I'll fight that change if I have to. I see no further need to prolong this trial. This began as a trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father, the painter Drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed and we have seen her reach a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision, jurist of the court. For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now. I'm going to cut this all from the archive, but you know. Keep going. I turn now to you to consider this matter. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father at night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your own decisions. That is all. Please wait. Yes, jurist number 6? There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. Ah, that is correct. I looked into all of your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case. With the development of the case? I see. Does that answer your concern? It is time for your verdicts. Make your decisions in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely and judge well. So yes, we get the option here. And we're going for the bad end first. And so a verdict was reached.
That fucking hand!
Was reached on October 9th. The first verdict under the jury system, a hung jury. The verdict would have to wait for the following day. But fate had different plans. That night, defendant Vera Misham's condition worsened. She died in her hospital bed. Her verdict was postponed for eternity. That is the bad end.
I'm not even sure what the point of that was.
It's not much, but it's the bad end. And now we're going for the true ending. So, yes. Also, did you notice who was in, who it was that was there? Did you see her reflection?
Didn't I mention the hand?
Yes, you mentioned the hand. Oh, you mean La Miroir? Pigs. You mean La Miroir, right? And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jury system, innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, a special witness, Christopher Gavin, laughed louder than ever heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering what seemed like hours. We did find out last time, yes, but for those who haven't been paying too much attention, that is just a confirmation, because it was been speculated, but here is the confirmation about it. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial, in the intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. Vera, oh, I'm so glad Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy to, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about what if Vera, hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera? Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you would never have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera, when I opened my eyes, I saw you. And I saw you, and I finally understood. It's important to be part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. It looks like the poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for this whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Oh, look, it's me! I love it! Thanks! Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy? Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I am sorry. No. That's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I am through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes and someday and apologize. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. You mean the stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? How I'm not telling. He promised me that day when he went away. We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I'll be watching, and one day, I shall return. You're the next Grammary, after all. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now. Even if he can't really play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and how about you, too? Even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes. I'm glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it. Where is Daddy? The one who can't play. Do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Sarah? I was wondering. Show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Huh? Well, he's not knighted yet. Here goes. Do an impersonation, Mr. Hat. Objection. Not loud enough. I like Miss Magic Underwear better anyway. That's Magic Panties, Apollo. So, your memory's returned. Mr. Wright, was this your plan all along? Was this part of your plan too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lamewa. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you choose me as one of your jurists. Ah, you're thinking too much into it. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course it is a happy thing. long I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you. Are you going to tell them? They do not know? Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings. I will go to them when the time is right. Until then, Don't worry, I'll take care of them for you. They are... well, they're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. Have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels inside. Your bracelet. Yes? I've seen a lot of mysterious things in the past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of them all. How is that strange? You have a spiritual megatama that lets you see into people's hearts. And how is that bracelet stranger than that? I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine, and I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Such a small thing, that bullet. Yet it tore away who I was. It tore who I was away. Years ago, during a simple rehearsal, it was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memories returned, and I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Speaking of miracles, Vera Misham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she is as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for. And that's pretty much the end of my story, for now anyway. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we've found it again. That is why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep this lawyer thing on for a while. Oh, training time. Gotta go, Court of Steel. Here comes justice. I'm not going to voice act the end credits here, but thank you for enduring with me. Yeah. It is a good ending, but still, like, the fact that Trucy and Apollo don't know their brother and sister irks me. At the same time, neither of them know that they have a sibling, but it still irks me. So. Oh, probably, Pix, probably. Oh yeah, Maya and Pearls would definitely punch his lights out. Oh, I love Emma. Emma is great. I mean, she's no gumshoe, but she is still great, her own person. No. Being strangled by Francisca is the least of his worries. She has other ways to punish people. Just the original cast bludgeoning out the hell out of Krista.
I just need to see him in, one of those white coats.
Restraining jackets.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not going to stream tomorrow. I'm gonna take a small break because I thought I would recover from just not streaming for 2 weeks, no 2 days. But yeah, I am just death in my throat. So yeah, I'm not gonna be streaming tomorrow because my throat just definitely needs a break. It's gonna be tough enough, speaking at work in the meetings tomorrow. So just gonna talk as little as possible and just let myself recover. Well, the name they call him is fitting, even if its meaning escapes him. Oh my god, that was a terrible pun. That drawing is just so nice. It is so lovely. And that is the conclusion of Apollo Justice. I certainly hope you have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it a lot, except my boys didn't the last couple of days, of course. But hey, that's just how it is. So, next on the menu for Friday streams is Miles Edgeworth Investigations 2. Now, I have never played that game. And so you will all get to see me play the game fresh and unbiased. It is a fan translation, so the names might be a little bit different for the various characters. So you will all we will all participate in the fumbling around in darkness about what to do, and it'll be glorious. And yeah, I am so glad I didn't power through this yet on Friday though. 2.5 hours. My throat would have been dead. So, yeah, no walkthroughs. We're going through this blind. As a newbie. So yes, tomorrow's stream is cancelled. I just can't. I need some time to recover. It's been a challenge doing this last part here, to be honest. Thursday, we'll probably stream on Thursday, more Golden Sun. I have also considered like doing another game on the side, which I might do if I feel better. I might just do a one-shot stream on that, like considered Stream Control, which was just released on Steam. Just like I never tried it, but I want to just get something else, and I don't have to do any voice acting on it. I just can sit back, enjoy the game, just comment on the game, the gameplay decisions, and like design decisions, things like that. Yes, I did say Control. So it's like the things I do like to do, just comment on things like that. Apparently. But we'll see. I'll come back to that, but it is a that'll be a spontaneous thing. Otherwise, I'll notify on Discord. Otherwise, the next stream is officially on Thursday. No, nothing you're going to corrupt at all. Also, we should have Callie play Dishonored, which is an amazing thing. Dishonored. I think Callie will like Dishonored. Oh well. I got the definitive edition, which was just released. So yes, I reckon that the thing. Dishonored with Whale Song. I actually haven't played the DLCs for Dishonored yet. The 2 DLCs, the Witches of whatever, and the Outsider. I haven't done those. I should probably do those. Oh well. Now, I'm going to get some rest, catch some sleep because I'm tired, and yeah, thank you for watching today. Now let's see if we can raid someone. Maybe Dylan is streaming. I think he might be streaming right now. Let's see. Either Dylan or Mina, I don't know. Mina might be streaming. No, she is not. Well, Pika Spray is, so I guess we're dropping into Pika Spray. It doesn't look like Mina has started streaming yet. So, Christian, that is to say, Pika Spray is streaming Banjo-Kazooie. So let's get into it. Onwards to Pika Spray. Christian. Thank you for joining today, and I'll see you next time.